on Rumbrug when I was 4. Be alright.
What is it?
I said I was on Rumbrug as a child, but I can't remember.
So, boom.
Okay.
That's us live now. Okay, so Debbie, welcome.
Thank you.
We chatted briefly. What was it, a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
You seen my chat with Gillian,
Uh-huh.
and then you reached out, and I'm glad you did, because you're nothing short of an inspiration.
Thank you.
And if anybody knows me, I'm a sucker for it. I love anything inspiring. And your story is, it's up there with the top of them, isn't it?
Thank you, yeah.
So just to give everybody a brief kind of insight, you're probably the only woman that will let me mention her age. Yeah.
Only for this reason.
Only for this reason. So yeah, 64.
64 a couple of weeks, yes.
Yeah, fitness instructor.
Yes.
Pretty extreme. 16 classes a week. Your yoga. And then you've got all your chair aerobics.
Chair aerobics, dance aerobics, sit aerobics, Pilates. I don't teach Pilates much now because I can't do everything.
Yeah.
So yes, so I specialise more in active ageing, which means people over 60.
Yeah. And then you've got your own hobbies,
Yes,
salsa, etc.
salsa, dancing at the weekend, yes.
So if anybody hangs around me long enough recently, all you'll hear me say is, I'm tired. So hopefully there'll be a few takeaways for people at home where you get your inspiration from.
Yes.
I know you're not fond of the word diet, etc.
Yeah, no.
But we'll maybe touch on your hydration, your foods, your lifestyle kind of choices. But that's just a wee overview for everybody at home. Because see, once I get talking, I'll forget about everybody at home, and I'll just, me and you'll be down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
So the loose framework that I have just to get us going is, we'll go right back to the start.
Right, okay.
Who is Debbie and where is she from?
Well, Debbie grew up on the Shankill.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that.
And I went to the girls' model school. Went
Very
to Clifton
good.
School before that.
Yes.
And I didn't really do much at school. Probably just didn't do a lot at school. And then somebody had said there's a leisure centre opening on the Shankill.
Yes.
Called Shankill Leisure Centre.
I know it well.
So
I know it well.
I decided I'm going to apply for a job, and here it sounds like fun.
Very good.
But I was pretty overweight.
Okay.
But I decided I couldn't swim.
Now,
Thanks.
overweight by your cliche female standards,
Yeah,
or were you
well,
overweight?
Overweight that the doctor put me on swimming tablets in them days.
Oh, wow.
Them days now.
Okay.
So they wouldn't give you swimming tablets now.
No.
But
No.
in them days they give them to you. So when I went to work in Shankill, they put me in the wee red Fred Perry skirt. It was a bit embarrassing.
Okay.
So the manager then was called Paul Stockman,
Yes.
who was a well-known bodybuilder in Northern Ireland, had a gym in town called Stockman's Health Studio.
Yes.
And Paul competed with Karen, his wife, in a lot of competitions, but he was one of my managers,
Yeah.
and he took me under his wing.
Very good. So you got lucky there, really.
The whole journey
Yeah.
has been amazing. So Paul started showing me how to train on the weights. I ended up going down to work for him in his gym, and about a year later, 2 years later, I was competing in Miss Northern Ireland.
No way.
I was.
Very good. That's why I only started this wee podcast thing, a year ago, just to basically get some exposure for my own business. But I've kind of just fell in love with it. It's not about advertising anymore for me. It's about, where else are you going to get to meet all these, people and their stories? And I in the summer holidays in the 80s, I would have went to the Shankill Leisure Centre. Yeah, you were probably there doing the weights.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Because my family, obviously my mum and dad, my granny and all my aunties were all up in Glencairn, and Shankill and all that area. So we went up there a lot in the summer holidays.
Yeah.
So you would have been there weightlifting.
Yep.
And I would have been there because
Yep.
of the wave pool.
That's-
The wave
yeah,
pool
yeah.
was
Fantastic.
something else. Like in Northern Ireland in the
Fantastic.
80s, that was the
Yeah.
place to be. Like,
Yeah.
so just for that alone, that has just made my day. Like,
Yeah.
just having. On Friday I'll be coming home now having a beer, sitting in the house, fall asleep on the sofa, and maybe go and do a bit of work tomorrow. I haven't thought about swimming in the Shankill Leisure Centre with the wave machine in the 80s as a child in years.
My goodness.
You know what I mean? You've just
brought it back.
You've just brought it back, like.
It was the old days.
It was back when the summer holidays lasted
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
It really was like
It was
that.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes.
But yeah, so it's not about me, it's about you, Debbie. So we're in what early 80s? You
So
were working
early
there?
80s, I was working at the Shankill Leisure Centre, and there was one day that I think that they called them aerobics teachers, I'm not sure, it didn't
Yeah.
turn up. Well, my maiden name was Quigley.
Yes.
Quigley, there's Peter Quigley was a great actor, he was in Give My Head, he's lots to do in the lorry, Peter. And then days you went and stayed with your aunt. I used to stay with Peter and my aunt Nell. Peter would put me on a romp room, would have done the makeup, had me dancing. So I learned to dance through Peter many years ago.
What character
I
did he
think he was
play?
he was a priest.
In
Give My Head piece.
no way.
And then there's Alan Quigley now, who's a famous artist in town.
Okay.
And so the Quigleys, my daddy was a great singer. They were a very, very musical family.
Very good.
Very musical. I got the dance side. So this particular day, I remember putting on a record, and I was able to teach a class just dancing, just went along. So I decided to go and become an aerobics teacher
Very good.
while I worked in the leisure centre
Yeah.
in Shankill, but I also started doing a wee bit of management courses, not massive ones, like
Yeah.
the Black Man College down
Yeah,
town.
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
now in school, down that direction.
Oh, I don't know. I would like to say.
So I did, and then started teaching aerobics, and then I applied for a junior manager's job in Cumber Leisure Centre, and I got promoted.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to work in Cumber Leisure Centre, and part of the job was like a junior manager, but I started teaching aerobics there too, and I packed the place. Packed the place because nobody else was doing it,
Yeah.
and they came.
Is this still in the 80s?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I think it into the 90s
Yeah.
then, and then I trained in step aerobics.
Very good.
I brought step aerobics to Cumber Leisure Centre.
Yep.
And then the journey just kept going. I just kept retraining and developing as many courses as I could do, and stayed in Cumber Leisure Centre for years. Moved to Cumber
Yeah.
and had my children in Cumber.
Yep.
Yes, 3 children. And then when I had all the children, I asked for job sharing, and I finished off here in Kiltonga.
Yes.
In the Arts
Yeah.
Sports Centre. And then they didn't want me to continue to teach because I was a manager. They wanted me on duty. So the part of that story I'm telling is there was a couple of girls came to my class in Cumber who didn't want to lose me.
Yes.
And 30 years later, I'm still their personal trainer.
Stop it.
Two months a week. Yeah.
That's that's a passion.
Yeah.
You can't do anything
No.
for 30 years unless you absolutely adore it. Like.
There's 5 of them now, share me, and they've all been through so many things. One girl has actually been through cancer, and she absolutely swears that I got her through it.
No way.
Through tongue cancer, yeah.
Oh wow.
And she's now comes to my yoga class as well now. So
Where's that at? Blairmean?
I'm in Blairmean and Cumber Leisure Centre this morning.
Are you still in Cumber?
I'm back teaching at Cumber Leisure Centre this morning.
Sure, that's nostalgic.
9 to 10, I was there this morning teaching, and it's really strange going into just to teach and walk back out again. And then, so I stayed in Kiltonga until it closed,
Yeah.
and then they offered me back to Cumber, but it was full time and it wouldn't have worked out for me. I had 3 children,
Wow.
so that was when I decided, let me just go out on my own here. So for a while I worked for a chiropractor
Okay.
and taught, and I really learned a lot working for the chiropractor about people's backs.
Yeah.
You know, because chiropractors are fantastic, very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Really, really
Yeah,
good at their
yeah.
job. Fantastic.
A chiropractor could spend a year and a half on my back.
Aye.
It's just modern times. Everybody, or I'm just getting older. All I hear all the time now is my back,
Yeah.
and then I start talking about my back, and before you know it, we're one-upping each other about whose fucking back's the worst. Like,
Well, I suppose a lot of people need to strengthen their cores more to
Yeah.
support their backs.
Yeah.
You need to have a strong core.
and
as
see,
well.
over the decades, have you noticed a change in foods?
Oh, aye,
What's
definitely.
food? It's
Yeah.
you know, food nowadays, because just talking about core, I don't think I've had any core muscles for a very long time. But I would put it down to my diet. It's just, everything's just so convenient now. And it's not just convenient, it's misleading as well.
Yeah.
Even when you think you're making wise choices, and then someone corrects you and goes, "Oh no, but look at the sugar in that."
Yeah, I'm sugar free.
Was it always like that? Or has food over the years just got polluted?
I think so. See, my mummy was a dinner lady in the school I went to,
Ah.
so I was well fed, not probably too well fed.
Well,
And
yeah.
that's why I get overweight. And then when I started training to the shows, I decided for me what the best diet I liked, if the word diet is a low GI,
And
low sugar,
just low sugar.
low sugar food. So I
No sugar or low?
It's
Do you
low
need a wee
sugar.
bit
you
of
need
sugar?
a wee bit,
Just a wee bit, so
aye.
like just low
Yeah.
sugar.
It's called the GI, the glycemic index. So any foods low, like your porridge,
Yes.
your potatoes, but not big. I used to find eating big baked potatoes would give me a sore stomach, so then
Yes.
I realised it was better for baby potatoes. So
Got you.
I'm still eating like that.
Serious?
I love that form of eating. I still have a porridge every day. I do the overnight oats every night.
Yes.
And put
Yes.
in loads of stuff, you know, your chia seeds, all the stuff goes in at night, your blueberries, your
And what would look for me? Always out on the road all the time. What would you recommend?
What I got recently, because I just got a wee granddaughter here in Newton Ards, and if I finish teaching at 2 o'clock and I want to go and see her, you know, I need
Yes.
to take food with me. And I was able to get a wee, when it's not like a flask, it's like a wee mini lunch thing.
Yep.
But I put the porridge in and I can take it with me.
So you take it with
I
you.
take it with me everywhere I go.
I'm gonna have to start being more.
I plan. I always say to my clients, if I'm doing personal training, is know on Monday what you're eating on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And don't go out hungry, because if you go out hungry,
Oh.
then
You're bait.
Totally.
You've set yourself up for a fall. And I'm always in garages. I'm always getting diesel, and then you're bait.
Aye.
It's like the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today.
Absolutely.
You
Have it
know,
all prepared.
But I have all the quotes.
But you don't do it.
They're fuck.
You see, I meal plan for me a week. So if I'm doing my shopping on a Wednesday, I know how many bags of carrots I need, potatoes,
Yeah.
and my food will be healthy for the week.
Organised.
I've done carry out so long time ago.
I know. Because that's another thing. Food becomes so repetitive, doesn't it?
It's not good for you. And the thing is, as you get older, your whole stomach changes. We can't digest food the same.
No, because do you know what I've noticed? I don't necessarily eat during the day anymore. So say I'd be like earlier on there, I was up in Dundonald and I was cleaning the sofa, and it was only about 12:30, and the lovely woman, brought out tea, biscuits, scones, you name it. And I knew that if I had have even entertained a bit of it, I wouldn't have been cleaning the sofa, I'd be fucking sleeping on it. So I politely refused. I took the coffee because it's just caffeine now. Caffeine during the day. If I go home, have dinner, and fall asleep on the sofa, so be it. I just fall asleep now. And see if I have another job to go to, I can't be eating crap at 12 o'clock.
No.
Because my whole day is just ruined then.
Aye.
You know, I'm definitely at that stage now where my stomach uses up my energy for the day digesting shit.
Aye.
You
Aye,
know, it's no good.
It's a bad habit to get into, it really is. But and you know, because I just meal plan, I am really disciplined and very strict.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and taking me out for a meal is dreadful.
Yeah.
Because I'm also gluten free. I went and seen a kinesiologist about a year ago,
Yes.
and I wanted to make sure what was going in. What
Yeah,
was
yeah,
right
yeah.
For me, and she told me to stop eating gluten.
Wow.
But what people don't realise is when you get the gluten free, you also got a list of foods not to eat.
Yeah.
So mine would be like asparagus, onions, garlic.
And they're kind of they're in the vegetable kind of bracket where people would believe they're doing the right thing.
So taking me
That's
from
interesting, isn't it?
the chef doesn't get it easy, because I don't like I have never had butter in my life. I don't like oil.
Really?
And I've never had tea or coffee in my life.
Wow.
And that was just growing up.
You just didn't like it?
Didn't
That
like
kind
it.
of thing?
Don't like it. So when I go in for a meal, it has to be baby potatoes not fried, and fish, and mainly fish eater, and vegetables, and you have to really look for the right restaurants to get
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, tell me, yes, you touched on something there which is interesting. And anybody that, well, I believe that anybody that wants to achieve anything, and be, like above average, they have to have discipline.
You have to have it.
So,
Have to.
were you naturally disciplined, or do you have to rein it in and really figure it out?
Well, I've worked out I'm a morning person.
Yes.
I'm not a night person, so
Yeah.
I get up every morning at 6, apart from
Yes.
weekends. And I like to do walk or run the dog every morning.
So get outside early.
I have to get out early. That gives me my energy for the day,
Yeah.
no matter what the weather is.
Again, I'm going to come off of another quote. I'm fucking cheesy there. But win the morning, win the day. I truly believe that. Like,
I'm a morning person, big time.
so you go out and is that when you do your 6K?
Do my 6K every morning with the dog.
Wow.
And then I come back and get ready then for my Monday and Wednesday, my first, those series in personal training. I would be on the steps, stay in their house.
Yes.
So then one person facilitates. They'd be on their step at 6:30, half 8 with me,
Wow.
8:30 to 9:30. And then on a Monday I was straight to Birmingham and I take 4 more classes.
Got you. And what do you have for breakfast?
Oat cakes.
Oat.
I like oat cakes with a low in sugar. They stiff. I'm used to that
That's
now.
slow release energy.
Slow release energy, and I take a B vitamin to get the slow release energy as well.
Yeah.
So it just gives me
Your
my
wee buzz.
okay.
Keeps you going.
I don't eat my porridge on a Monday until 3:15.
So you're kind of fasting.
I like fasting now.
You like fasting?
Well,
Yeah. 'Cause
fasting,
it's kind of a
it's
buzzword at the moment.
It's good for you.
24 hour or what?
No, just from that morning.
That
just
morning?
waking up in the morning, I do that step class, and then I go and I teach dance fit. From dance fit, I go down and I teach yin yoga, and from yin yoga, I teach chair fit. And
And then you have wee porridge.
then I go home and have my porridge, and then at 6 o'clock I'm back out to teach yoga.
And what about water?
Loads of water with me all the time.
Just loads of water all the
Loads
time.
of water all the time with me.
Yeah.
Always.
And then were you ever not disciplined? And you thought,
I was overweight. I remember going to work in an office when I left school, and I think it was up around the Crumlin Road, BSS, and was eating pasty suppers and chips. We had a caravan in Malay, you see.
yes,
And during the troubles, my mum and daddy took us to Malay,
got you.
and there was nothing like going up to the chippy or going to Beatties.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, that was a real treat.
So that's all I knew, so I loved it then, I did.
Yeah.
I loved it.
But you kind of got to this stage. What about drinking or weekends or
At
anything?
weekends, when you're dancing,
Yes.
you definitely don't drink. So somebody sends me in a double spin and salsa
Ah.
fast, I will be across the room. Some people can drink and dance, I just can't.
Just over the years though, because we all have our vices.
Uh-huh.
We all have our bad habits.
Oh, I did go through the years when I did like to drink, and I went through a divorce and smoked, but I was able
okay.
I'm disciplined enough to come back off them things
Yeah,
again.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like you have to. It's like me. I love a beer.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? With my wee beer keg over there.
Aye.
I'm usually pretty. If my guests aren't having a beer, I'll not have a beer.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like sometimes I take the piss, like.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like you kind of learn to get disciplined.
Yeah,
It's not so. I'm always kind of curious. Are some people kind of just naturally disciplined because
No.
they're a strict upbringing or something?
No.
Or do we all struggle and then we realise, right, if I really want to get ahead here,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rein it in and just sacrifice and be disciplined?
For me, it was the food, but also I became a single parent, and I knew I had 3 children to go through university, so I had to work really,
Wow.
really hard. And I got them through. One just about to go through university. He's in university now, he's in his final year, 2 degrees, and
Fair.
Yeah,
You done that on your own?
worked that all on my own.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I worked really, really hard. I worked, and then that's probably why I took on so many clients and
Yeah.
taught so many classes. And them days, I was one of the first Zumba teachers here in
Yes.
Belfast, and packed holes out with Zumba. And I loved it, and then coming to Zumba, and I just loved teaching Zumba. And then when I went to become a yoga teacher, I think it was during the yoga, and yoga has a bit of mindfulness. You start to realise you're doing too much, and what are you running away from?
Okay, and that's when you get into that.
We did a lot of shadow work.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to have to get this done. But my problem about getting, okay, thank you. My problem about getting things up is I always think, well, everybody doesn't want me to give it up.
I know.
And they coax me not to get them. Debbie, don't you ever leave? And I'm going, but I have to sometimes. That's a hard.
Yeah. So did you reach kind of burnout?
I think it's sort of with the hips, because you have to use your hips a lot. So I had a wee bit of an issue with the hip. Then I got another girl to cover a couple of classes, and then that was my escape route. And then I said, look, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to specialise more in yoga, because even though I teach a lot of classes, I've all in the plan at home.
It's people that realise the prep goes into
them classes. So my head would have went, because the Zumba, it's a franchise.
Yes.
You paid for, and then you got a video every month from the DVD, and I had to learn that.
Wow.
Yes,
so there was a curriculum. It wasn't as if you could just say, I'm not myself today, I'll go and wing it.
No.
You had to carry out the curriculum for the Zumba.
Yeah.
Ah.
And the one thing we were
pressure, it's all pressure on it.
And especially when young ones are coming, they want blood.
Yeah.
At the end of the leisure centre, they don't want the old ones on the stage teaching. But I remember the thing we were taught when you first become a aerobics teacher. No matter how bad your day is, you get on that stage with a smile.
Yeah, you leave it at the door.
You wear the mask.
Yeah, you leave it at the door.
And you always, so people always say that if you go from one class, how can you give everybody the same energy as they walk through the door?
That's a bit that impresses me.
Some man asked me that recently. There was an 86 come into the class. His daughter, but the parents then told me to keep an eye on them. It was the funniest day, because I just sit to stand, and I call it get nothing down the toilet. And I really think of ways to get them to do it. Like, if you want somebody to lift you off the toilet, bring it up down to the chair. And this wee man was brilliant. He just kept going. Everybody else sat down. We're all clapping and cheering. And I thought he couldn't do them. But I think it's just that motivates me. I get so much.
Yeah, it's really rewarding.
Unbelievable reward, just to see that wee man stand up and smile round the ring. He was looking at everybody to see if anybody was watching.
He's loving the recognition.
He just loved it, so he did. So, just going from one class to another, because if you're in doing dance fit, you're smiling, you're giving out energy, and then when you go down to do the yoga, have to calm, decompress, then have to come back
up again
for the chair fit. But it's just seeing all their faces coming in, and they're all just
and tell me this. Because I'm kind of in business, I always look at everything in like sales, marketing, branding. I look at that's how I look at things. And when you're packing out halls, for Zumba, packing out halls for your classes, do you look at it like sales, or so like what's your magic? What do you think your secret ingredient is? That because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. Great at their personal training, dance classes or whatever, but they can't get people through the door.
I know, I think my son asked me that one day, Mummy, how did you do it?
Yeah.
And I think something happened recently, people had to write a couple of things about me.
Yes.
And I can't read things about myself, especially if they're nice.
Yeah, I know.
But I think what shocked me was people, most of them were saying, Debbie has time for you. So when my class begins, I go 15 minutes early. I will scan the room and say, is there anybody, me? I think, right, who's new here today? You always see their wee face. I always go over and speak to them, introduce myself. But the main thing is at the end of the class, I'm like a magnet to you, and not get out of that class. Yeah. Until I'm straight over going.
So it's that personal touch, kind of personal connection.
Yeah. And then what will happen then is they'll say to me why they came. It could be stress. It could be somebody saying, I just lost my husband, or and whatever. And if that's the case, I'll say, right, see when this class today, I'll go for a cup of tea away out with them. You'll have plenty of friends here. Yeah. And I years ago, I did a thing called MBTI. The marriage braves thinking indicator technique. Yes. So when I went into that, she became my, two through life. She saved my life. But when I first met Hilary, we all have a personality type from our childhood. Yes. So we all learn that from our parents. So I had to change a few things. Yeah. I did it through this And Hilary used to say to me, Debbie, people don't come to the class for the class, they come for you.
Yeah.
They feel
People
your energy.
buy people, you know,
Yeah,
kind
they
of
just
thing.
feel your energy and they want to come and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be with
and
Debbie
feed off it.
and feed off it.
So where does Debbie get her energy?
I get my energy.
You know, that special energy that people find, you know.
I think I do a bit of mindfulness, I do a bit of meditation, and I think because of what I've been through in life, I'm so grateful for everything I have.
Yeah, and you can, what is it? You're probably very empathetic.
I'm an empath.
Yeah,
That's my personality type.
Yes.
I'm an empath, but I was too much an empath.
It's the
When I
people
met
pleasing
Hilary,
territory, you
It's
was
given
overboard.
too much. I want
Yeah.
to save the world.
I know.
If anybody came to me with any problem,
Yeah, you were invested.
I was totally invested in that problem.
So you had to learn to manage that
Yes,
as
that's what I'm
such.
doing. I'm still
you know,
doing that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still doing that.
Because I think a lot of us are like that, and then people, you know, because I would be very much like that too, but it's always to my own detriment.
Yeah.
I'm 44 now, and I'm only really catching on that I'm not doing people favors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not helping them. You know, if anything, I'm enabling them, and I'm getting used and abused.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes a long time before it clicks.
It does.
You know, but yeah, it's interesting that a lot of us kind of go through that journey where you have to pull back, or you'll get used and abused. Like.
I think there's a quote I read that says, I open the door and it's up to them to come through. I can only sort of go so far with them.
Yeah.
But, you know, the best fun for me is, well, it's not really fun, but at the end of the class, and I'm supposed to, say I get paid 11 to 12, and not be at that door to quarter because there's a queue. And I can see them going like, could you give an idea?
Yeah, because it's a form of therapy, like.
Massive.
You know,
massive.
and even, you know, from your point of view, you know, you getting that good, you know, workout, you know, you get the endorphin rush.
I get paid to do something I absolutely adore. Every morning, people say to me when you go out in the morning, do you listen to music? But I go out and do my gratitude. I talk the whole way around. If anybody's sitting there thinking it's mad, then I go and hug a tree. A tree has energy, that's where it gets something.
Yeah.
And then I do one class a week in the Lee Studio in the Square in Newton Arts.
Yeah. So the yoga studio.
I teach in there too. I do one class a week. I do chair. But I go there once a week to get my energy back.
Oh, so you go to a class?
I go to a class. It's very important that I go to a class and learn from another teacher. You know,
and keep all your kind of training updated as such.
You have to. You know, girl said that to me on Wednesday, but one of my private clients says, "But Debbie, you don't stop learning. You keep going and learning more." And they love it when I come in because I recently started taking ashwagandha.
Yeah, what's that now?
It's a really brilliant herb and it keeps your mind alert. My son was taking it for a long time and I was
where do you get it?
I started using a website called Geeks. I've just ordered some stuff before it came out because I decided to try the collagen powder, but there's a new ashwagandha calm out, so anybody, you know, I am calm.
Yeah.
But I love trying these things and sending them to somebody. Do you know what? Do you know what's good for you?
Yeah. Because you need to send me the link because my missus calls me snappy but happy.
You need to.
You know, so I need a wee bit of calm. It's just modern life. It's just so stressful.
I'm the opposite when I have all them classes.
Yeah.
So I always tell people to retract before you react.
I know.
It takes 2 minutes.
I
know. I do it all the time.
I know. They say a minute in anger can undo 10 years of work. Like, you know.
Just let it all just flow.
I know. I can't.
I can't.
It's like I used to do a lot of running, and I could get down after a run for a day, you know.
Go back running again.
I know, it's so hard on the ankles and the knees and the hips. There has to be another way.
Do running and do yoga.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely this year. I'm calling this year my well-being year.
You're meeting well-being people, you see, so who are going to inspire you to do it, you know, and that's what people say. Yeah,
you become who you hang around with.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, and then even, you know, as I say, Friday night I'll probably down the pub. Do you think people down the pub are telling me to go try this website and, you know, what do you call it, Inga?
Well, is it
the calm?
Oh,
stuff
Ashland
you order.
got a cam, they wouldn't even know about it.
They don't even know, so how they going to advise me?
No.
But again, that's why I love this wee show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So this is my well-being year. I'm going to do reflexology with Gillian
Fantastic.
and I can't even pronounce it, the drainage,
Yes,
the something. And then the other day there I was away doing acupuncture on my head,
Brilliant.
cupping on my back,
Brilliant.
heat therapy fucking somewhere else.
Wow.
And I have this week, I felt really good actually.
Starting to feel better.
And that was only a week of a few wee different
Well, you watching
things.
how you feel all the time.
As a lifestyle.
I love my lifestyle. I just love, people, think, she's a pain in the arse. They can think that it's a lot, but I love my lifestyle. I'm in this age, I haven't got a pain in my body, joint pain. I can still run. I can go out running with the dog.
No way.
Yes, I run 2 mornings a week.
No way.
You're flow. Everybody thinks.
64.
64.
Jeez. I'm a fucking big wimp, aren't I am a big fucking wimp. I'm sitting here crying about nothing basically.
Well, you see, we have nothing to complain about. We have our health. I finish every yoga class in gratitude. Everybody
And
in the
how
class.
does that, what's that look like?
Well, I just finished the class, okay, that's spa and gratitude, and then I ask everybody to be grateful for their health and their healthy minds and their healthy bodies, and then I let them just ponder for about 30 seconds being grateful for something they're grateful for.
and
that
add it to
changes
the
your whole
perspective.
I remember listening to somebody one time says, if you're having really negative thoughts, which a lot of people do, and you turn that round to a positive thought, the brain will go to the positive thought quicker, and it'll all change.
Turn that frown upside down, kind of thing.
And I would probably, through what I've been through, I've had to learn to do that. And turn my life around. And I remember somebody, and it wasn't a cruel thing she said, but she just went, Debbie, with 2 choices, sink or swim. And I went, you know what, I'm going to be a survivor.
And that's when you were a single mom with 3 kids.
And I'm going to survive.
And you have.
Unbelievably.
I would go as far as to say you haven't just survived, you've thrived.
Oh, totally.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't even think that you're only warming up. I think you've
no,
been hot for a while.
No, I've other things, I want to do. I just, was part of the TV programme there called Fit Around the Table.
Stop it.
And it went really, really well. I mean, Mary Peters, me and Mary Peters,
No way.
how did I end up on the same show as Mary Peters? And what an athlete, my sister Donna, Donna Quigley, she was one of the athletes that turned down the Olympics on her day because she was a Christian.
Okay.
She would train with Mary at the same time. But
and what's this Fit Around the Table?
It's called Fit Around the Table, but it was on the local TV channel, I think it's Channel 5.
Yeah, and he gets like athletes on.
Yes, so I was one of the athletes. So it's a guy called Mike Gaston, and he's a journalist for the BBC.
Yeah.
He would do his own things. So.
And what do you call it? Fit Around the Table.
Now it was on over. It was on. I think I was on a cruise in October, and that's when it was actually filmed. They filmed it away back in June. But my neighbour, my dance lessons I go to are down here in the British Legion. On a Thursday night. And last Thursday night, my neighbour sent me a picture of her and her husband doing my exercises. So it was back on. And I didn't even know it was.
And what do you call the guy that takes that?
Mike Gaston.
Mike Aston.
Mike Gaston. You should get him on.
I'm like Mike Aston. I'm like Mike Aston, but from Wish.
Actually, he's great. So I went on. I filmed the whole. I was just like me and you, but he brought his chair around there, and we filmed the class. Me teaching him.
No way.
And then he sent me a picture of people doing it in nursing homes. That they were able to see like YouTube.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually still on YouTube. So and then so we're going to do Fit Around the Table 2 when he's ready to do another one. So I was dead interested. And then as soon as it come off, and because I got that award with Sandra, John had me on the radio, and I got a lot of people coming back to the radio and going, "Who is that woman?" Would she teach in Hillsborough, does she do this?
So I'm really going to have to do more homework when I get people on my wee show. I didn't know it, but I've got a bit of a local celebrity here today.
No.
So lifetime
lifetime achievement, yeah,
for contribution to the industry.
Yeah, Northern Ireland Health and Fitness Awards. That was massive, and I was so disappointed because what had happened was the girl who had found out I was the overall winner.
Yes.
She had contacted both my sons to go and pick the award up, and nobody could do it.
Okay.
So because she didn't realise I was going to be on a yoga retreat. I was in Spain. All years I would have loved that. I would have loved it because
everybody likes a bit of recognition, like, but
it's just a pity
contribution, to the industry.
Yeah,
that is a lifetime award.
Aye. Well, I've been teaching from I was 18.
I know, and for it to be recognised is incredible.
Yeah.
And then for you to be on a yoga retreat and miss it.
No. I no matter what happens to me in life, I truly believe it's meant to be.
Yeah. No,
I'm never get annoyed about anything now.
The older I get, I'm starting to kind of buy into those kind of things. When you're younger, you're kind of, life's fast, isn't it?
I don't think you're getting old.
Yeah, you don't realise it until, honestly, the last couple of years I've been doing, like the old man kind of, when you stand up, you're down, you go, oh, fuck.
And hold your back.
Yeah.
Put your hands in your back.
Well, when did that start?
I know, you just have to avoid it.
When did that start? I don't know. But what about all this, like plunge pool, ice bath, all that kind of?
I tried to do the sea swimming, and it's really good for the vagal nerve, that.
So it is a good thing.
It's a fantastic thing. It's not for me. I'm a cool bird.
Yeah.
And I think it's working on leisure all the time, like swimming pools and saunas. So I tried it and I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
There's other ways of me to trigger my vagal nerve, and it's through meditation.
Does heat, like will a jacuzzi do the same thing? No?
No,
or is it just specific to
the
cold?
The cold one was, when I looked up the vagal nerve, it was the sea swimming was really good for arthritis and all your nerve centres, but it's not for me.
But before we move on, I want to touch on the awards again. Was there one you were telling me they videoed you in, or they
Well, what happened was for that one you were talking about, I had to do a video in my living room to accept the award.
Oh, right, okay.
So that came up on the big screen.
Ah.
Of me accepting the award, which was really, and I was watching that in Spain.
All right, so you knew them.
I knew I was getting it because it couldn't be a surprise.
Yes.
Because they phoned the yoga studio and Nars were asking and Diane who owned it.
Yes.
They were going to get a table and have everybody around the table.
Got you.
Because I did tickets. I think I went to one whenever with the mayor of Newton Orange, the younger guy, and him went, and I didn't win anything that year. And I think the tickets were about £100 each. And they were dear. It is a money making thing.
Yeah.
But so because I was winning the overall one, they wanted me there with a couple of other yogis and stuff, or the sons.
I know.
And that's when Emma says Debbie's not here, she's in Spain.
Stop it.
And then the girl phoned me and she says, you drive? And I says, yes. Says, do you want to pull over? And I says, why? Because it was a girl called Sarah, and she says, I have some news for you. And I started to cry because I thought that would have been the biggest
cherry on the cake
for all I've done. But there's more, something else.
The best is yet to come.
Definitely.
I always say. So Shankill Road, all the awards. What does the future hold then?
The future for me would be more public speaking and helping and inspiring people. I only yesterday got asked to go and do a church, so I would go into women's groups.
Yep.
They book me, and I do a bit of work with them in the chair. I'm also trained in fall prevention.
Yes.
So the biggest scariest thing for old people is falling. Yeah. And once you have a fall,
once you do the hip.
So the first thing anybody does when they go to fall is put their hands down. So I teach them not to do that.
And then fall where if you're not putting your hands out on the softer part?
I just put your foot out. I call it the tap. So I'm going step, tap. Always remember the tap.
Yeah.
Back, tap.
Yeah.
So if I go to fall, the first thing I just put my foot out. And we all sort of tumble, but I would always put my foot out first. So, but the other good thing is when I'm working with them and I'm strengthening their bones, if they fall, they're going to get up again.
Yeah.
It's getting back up.
Yeah.
The amount of people say to me, I can't get down on the floor, and I go, get down and I show you how to get up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
show you can get up.
It's
Because in their
different.
heads, they can't get up. But
Self.
everybody that does that, I get them back up, and I show them how to get back
Yeah,
up.
different wee techniques,
Different
etc.
techniques, because I don't want them to be frightened to come into the class
Yeah.
and feel they can't join in with the class. So I find that I want to I just want to motivate and inspire more people. And see, during the winter and people are sitting at home thinking, I can't do it, you can go to that Blair Main Leisure Centre, you get a free membership. It's called Active Aging if you're over 60.
Oh really?
So you get it free.
Top tip.
Free. And then you get into my classes for about £4.
Wow.
£4.40. But the problem is they can't.
I know. So moving forward, you want to do like public speaking, or do you want to do more podcasts, or?
I probably would. I mean, I've thought about doing podcasts in the chair.
Yeah.
Just to be chair fit for people to do at home. It was during COVID. I did that.
Oh,
But I did it for the leisure centre, you know,
Yes.
for all the members.
Got ya.
And people would have said, I still go back and do some of your classes. So I did the chair fit, I did Zumba, and I think I did some aerobics. The old fashioned aerobics is still very, very popular. The hips, bums and tongues. So I mean, I still would use that training. So yes, I would love to do that, but I would like to see people, you're not being afraid to come out and come to the class. You know, it's great fun, and really combats loneliness so much.
What was it? Inspire, don't retire.
That's
That's your slogan, isn't it?
I did that when I was 60. I did, they did an article for me in the Women's Magazine, as we call it, I forget the name of the magazine, but that was the head. Don't retire, inspire.
Yeah, don't retire, inspire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was brilliant when we were on the phone and you said that.
Yeah, so that was my 60th thing for that, and I'm coming 64, and I'm still no sign of retirement.
You're only warming up.
I probably have. I'm not teaching Zumba anymore, and in the leisure centre would have done a step class. I'm not doing that anymore. But if I go out and do personal training with them ladies, we do step aerobics. Yeah. And that's different because I'm not trying to, I mean, the leisure centre one would be way over my head now. So I've learned for myself what my body needs.
Of course.
So because I have worked for my mate Tina, I've seen my body mature. The whole way up, so I can give out so much advice. And help people so much that this is what your body needs. So
moving forward, you want to educate people, you want to share your experience, and you want to inspire. Being on my wee show, you're breaking the ice in, you're tiptoeing into that world. So all I can do now is wish you all the best, and keep in touch, and I'll be watching.
I'm going to give you 2 quotes before I go that I love is, what you ignore is going to get weaker, but what you feed is getting stronger, and I'm a walking example. And the other one I get to do a lot is, if you don't look after this body, where are you going to live? Nowhere else to go.
Very good, Debbie. Very good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
You're welcome.
And now I'm going to go home and have a dinner and fall asleep on the sofa and absolutely torture myself because I didn't take any advice.
You did. It's in there somewhere.
It's in there. Okay, everybody. Where can everybody find you? Are you on the socials?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, Debbie Quinn. And I'm on that Instagram. I've only started all that. You'll get me down in Blair Main Leisure Centre, Cumber Leisure Centre, Ards Yoga and Wellness Centre, and just give me a shout anytime. We'll tell you what class is suitable for you.
Perfect. So you heard it here first, everybody. Inspire, don't retire.
Yay!